So I flew all the way over to Riga. Riga is in Latvia, and I was there for the grand total of 45 minutes. And then I went on to the slightly shorter journey to Stavanger. And Stavanger is it's my first impressions of the airport was this is ridiculously nice. So I arrived at about 5 past midnight. The plane set foot on the Stavanger ground, and I mean we went into the night rooms, but still, I mean it was like I'd arrived in the Caribbean, not in Stavanger in Norway. And I mean I love being here. It's brilliant to be here, but I didn't think that it would be such an exotic and colourful place. And so that was really interesting. We came in, and everybody was a bit tired and a bit drowsy because I hadn't slept at all on the flight. So I was all a bit buzzed up, and so there were cushions everywhere. Had I had to sleep there, I would not have minded. There was a Disney movie on. It was just, I would recommend that airport of any of them to sleep in overnight. If you've got a long wait for the next flight the next day. So on Thursday, having slept in Vienna on Wednesday evening, I went swimming in the mountains. Now, I don't know if you know that swimming amongst massive mountains, beautiful scenery and incredibly high drops is the most purest and incredible experience you could literally ever have. It felt so pure as well. I mean, I was with two people, a relative of mine, her friend, and her friend was just, getting her cup and drinking out of the water that was running down the mountains, and I thought, wow, this is incredible, because it's not because she was doing that because she's crazy. It was doing that because the water was that clean. And then we went in, we had a little swim. The rocks were incredibly slippery, so it was kind of like a slide, and it was just an immense feeling being in such a strange place in the middle of nowhere and finding a pool and just sitting in it. And then it started raining and the thunder, but we didn't have to worry about the lightning because we were surrounded by the mountains. It was really surreal, and it really gave me a really wild view of Norway and how it influences me and myself. Then on Friday we visited a national Norway annual festival called the Happy Food Festival. That's a translation into English. That was full of people, full of tourists, full of food, and very happy food. I mean, everybody there was happy as well. I'll show you the pictures, but there are pictures of ships. Well, there weren't pictures, the actual ships with food on them, and there was a mini floating on the water, and it was totally radical, but really awesome. I mean, we had some more pasta, and that was nice. And we also had such like mousse that had passion fruit in it, and that was beautiful, very sweet, because passion fruit is a sweet fruit, but very beautiful to the taste buds. And that was really nice. We didn't spend too long there because it was so incredibly busy that you couldn't really hear yourself think, but the smell was incredible. It was just, I wanted to stay there forever, wandering around the harbour. The harbour was beautiful. They've got these tyres around and decorating, and it's just a lovely experience. And so on Saturday, which was yesterday, we did the trio of museums. So first we visited the Science Museum, which I think actually translates from the Norwegian name into Museum of Science. And that was really interesting. I mean, I got to hold a brain, or not a real brain, but a model of one that was the exact weight of somebody who's quite an adult. And the brains, they're weirdly heavy because you don't expect it, because you have your brain on your head your whole life, so you don't really notice the extra weight, but they are heavy. I mean, just holding it like that, I didn't really want to hold it for that long. We also felt the temperature, and that was a little bit strange. And then we moved on to the Middle Age Museum, which was, as you may or may not know, all about the Vikings, and that was really cool because you got to see skeletons, examples like one skeleton was laid down in a grave, and then like a couple of years later they put another skeleton with it. Were they a husband and wife? Did they want them to be together? Or was it just that they didn't have any other room? It gave me lots of questions, and I love history, so this was fascinating. Then we went on to the modern world, which is the kind of general Stavanger museum, and that was full of stuffed animals, stuffed birds, blimey, you know, it's a really surreal feeling walking into a room and just having loads of birds. There's also there was a stuffed polar bear, and as you may or may not know, if you see a polar bear walking down the street, you don't look at it right in the face, but your finger just between its teeth, you run away. So seeing a polar bear of the actual size that it would be was just, it was a little bit scary, because you know, when there are models that size, you know, the size that they actually would be if they were still alive, you feel like they will come alive. You know, Night at the Museum, a couple of cheesy films on that, and it's an incredible, surreal feeling, especially when they've got eyes and they seem to be watching you. And so that's my experience of Norway so far. It's a brilliant country. I mean, I just, from the very moment I stepped in, and the people on the flights, I was just really excited. And I got a necklace from the stones, because a bit like in Wales, they do mining and such like. I would recommend coming to Norway. I mean, my trip's not finished yet, but I feel like I've seen it all. I mean, we just, it's so surreal. I do swimming in the lake that's just over there. I would show you, but it's not very visible. And you can just do that just like that, like as if it's a swimming pool, except it's free, obviously, and a little bit dirty. And I must show you this blue tree that's right next to where I sleep at night. So have a look at that. Isn't it just wow? An electric blue tree next to a yellow house. But there is Norway for you. Thank you very much, and see you next time.